make a video on some talking points that may go ahead and come up as you see in the title. So you want to carry guns? Well, it's good to carry guns, but I always recommend you do it legally. That way, you be on the safe side of things and you be on the righteous side of things. Now, I'm not going to go into the process of getting your CHL or LTC, whatever it may be called in your state, but let's just say, for example, you already have it. You know what I mean? You have your concealed handgun license or your license to carry license, that kind of deal. Or maybe if you have constitution to carry, which is pretty awesome. Good for you. Where I'm from in Texas, we don't have that. Hopefully, all that will change in the near future. With all that being said, so you want to go ahead and start carrying guns. Awesome as hell. Whatever it may be, from all the way down to 25 autos, all the way up to the 50 AE. Whatever it may be, good for you. So, and you want to go ahead and you want to start carrying. So one thing that most people that I come across to, and it's always either at gun shops or it's either at the local big box stores, they have an idea of what they want to carry, and a lot of it is just like, and I like to do a little bit of advertising for my buddy that's trying to become a holster maker and that type of deal, and I wear his rigs. I paid for him. He doesn't pay me to do any of it. Like, I wanted them made, and next you know, people are like, oh, I would have never thought a Kydex holster for a 3-inch or 4-inch or 2-inch revolver existed. I'm like, well, they do. And that's one thing I want to cover on. For example, a lot of us, as you obviously see, we are very, very different from each other. Not one holster fits all. I don't care what anybody says. You have something like this. It's a very, very nice, well-made DeSantis for inside the waistband for a Ruger LC9. And then you got yourself a custom made for a Smith & Wesson J frame, and it fits a couple of my revolvers, but ideally this one is custom made. Like a simple Kydex, something like that, run you about like $40. I like holsters. Some people prefer 3 o'clock carry. Some people prefer to carry in the lower back, and some people stupidly carry right in front of their pecker or right in front of their giner. That's a personal preference. I still believe and strongly believe that is the stupidest way to carry, but I digress. You have to figure out exactly what works for you. Does do you prefer to carry a particular nice gun? You know what I mean, like like an SR 1911 from Ruger, or maybe a Colt Commander. Those are very, very nice guns, and most of the people that I've seen with 1911s and nickel-plated revolvers, I always see them wearing leather. I'm not dogging on the leather. The leather is custom made. I can never really get an actual beat on who actually made their leather. Some of them fall into the Gallico version, but ideally they get them custom made. And they have their own little initials on them. They got a nice little they have like little flair to it. Here we go again, zeroing back in. A lot of things aren't gonna work for you, and a lot of things will work for you in a very, very weird way. Like one thing that doesn't work for me personally, and that's because I love the LCP from Ruger. I like that one a lot, but pocket carry does not work for me. And I've even have one, and I had a holster for it, and it just didn't work out. I couldn't get a good grip on it. I filed it off, filed the holster down just a little bit to try to see if I can get a good grip on it, and the gun wouldn't snag on me when I reached for it in my pocket. But a lot of it really, it was just a simple nylon that was just protecting the trigger guard. It has no manual safety. Your safety is right here or right here if you're wrong-handed, as I like to call it. So I had to get over that hurdle, and I know a good number of people that just no holster at all. They throw it in their pocket, whether it be with a 25 auto from Beretta, or it could be the Ruby recipe as well. One of my buddies actually did something interesting, and I might follow in the footsteps, but not in that particular way. It's the Beretta Pico. He basically just took the sights off, filed down the actual the magazine that it came with it, because it has somewhat of a small point to it. He filed that off as close as he could, and he sticks it in his pocket because if only I could have borrowed it for the video to explain more or less where I'm going with it. It's a snag-free pistol. In a way, you're gonna feel like you have to spend a little bit of money, but ideally you want to spend some money when it comes to carrying a gun. Like if you carry a revolver, well, if you feel for some reason you need a speed loader or speed strip, that type of deal, you're gonna realize like maybe you don't want them in your pocket because you can kind of feel them rattling around, especially with speed loaders. You wouldn't want to put that in your pocket. Believe me, it's an area of experimentation where I had to learn the hard way. Then you want to get some some basket weave pouches. You may or may not be able to find the single ones, and then same thing for speed strips. You might want to have a little pouch, but then you realize like, all right, maybe this particular speed strip doesn't fit like comfortably. And then one thing that we all kind of run into when we go ahead and find our gun, and maybe the extra magazine, the speed loader, the speed strips, that type of deal, we all tend to suffer from carry fatigue. And I own a tool belt, so I kind of get used to it, but it's always that thing where you want to like readjust yourself, that type of deal. We're all gonna go through it. Every one of us, especially you newcomers, on the foreign object being on your side or wherever you're gonna carry, like I really wanted to have this one as my primary carry for ultra concealability, but it's just one of those things, a duty belt, you don't stick stuff in your waistband, you stick it in the little pockets, especially like if you know what a hammer holster is, that thing is outside of your belt. And if you just need your hands free for a second, there's always like a small little pouch, throw the screwdriver, throw the ratchet and the socket in there, and do whichever you got to do. Like this, this I always see people kind of shifting a little bit over there at the gun shop, or whether it be at big box stores. I see like a small shift. They're printing, but I don't say nothing. As far as when it comes to carrying your guns, like experimentation is gonna happen. You're gonna spend a little bit of money because it can go on from the style of your gun. It can be blued, parkerized, plated, or have a very, very nice finish. You know what I mean? You're gonna run into that, and you want to figure out, okay, maybe a 4-inch is a little too big to be stuck inside the waistband, or maybe maybe the bulge of a revolver is starting to be a little bit more noticeable, that type of deal. It all depends on what kind of person you are, and that's why I always said there is no one size fits all. It's very, very subjective. Actually, at a time when I carried a Glock 19, that one, it wasn't so much, it was hard to conceal, but the Glock 19 basically has a nice silhouette of a gun. And when it comes to conceal carrying it with the outside the waistband holster, that for just for a small reference, like this is an outside the waistband holster, just something like this. You just loop it through your belt and it sticks out just like that. With that being said, it just had a nice silhouette of a gun, and that wasn't on the holster's fault or anything like that. It just has a silhouette. When people see signs of no guns allowed and that kind of deal, they usually have a silhouette, and in their head it's already printed of it. And to give you a small reassurance, a lot of people do not know what it looks like. They don't really know what it is that they're looking for, because like I said, it's the untrained eye that they have no idea what that bulge is for. That's one of the saving graces. Maybe people are stupid and they have no idea that you're actually carrying, so it kind of helps. So experimentation is gonna happen. You're gonna realize that, for some people, inside the waistband, outside the waistband works. Pocket carry may be a viable option. You're gonna go through a lot. Inside the waistband, the gun sticks inside your waist. Outside the waistband, the gun is stuck outside on a holster rig. So is inside the waistband. I'm not talking about Mexican carry. And I'm Mexican. I can say it. You're gonna have a holster, and you're gonna just stick the holster inside your waistband. I find it very uncomfortable in any position I can try out, except appendix carry. I don't believe in pointing the gun directly at your naughty bits there. Outside the waistband works great. Paddle belts are they're almost like the next thing to sliced bread, but they fall short in some guns, not all of them. And maybe if you're one of the brave people that want to go ahead and ankle carry, I don't really recommend it, especially during summertime. And if you want to take a little page from the Yankee Marshall, well, you can go ahead and fanny pack it. Like I said, I'm not your real daddy. So with all that being said, I hope your journey to furthering your Second Amendment right, and y'all being safe and y'all being strong out there, hope we could actually go off without a hitch. Because even though the majority of us carry for self-protection, hopefully that day doesn't have to come. But if it does, at least you're well prepared. So y'all stay free and y'all stay safe.